All right, stage one, we have two shooting positions. On the left side of the barricade, you take one shot with your rifle. If you make a hit on the steel, you get 5 seconds deducted from your total time. And then you move the kettlebell over the barrier, take a shot with your pistol. And again, if you hit the pistol steel, same thing, minus 5 seconds. So the trick here is that as much as you'd like to go really quickly, it actually makes a lot more sense to take your time, be deliberate, and make your hits. Now here I have my first malfunction. I was shooting 150 grain cellular and billet. The flat nose, I think, just was not playing very nicely with the feed ramp because I have not cleaned that gun in a particularly long time. This stage in general too, this was first stage of the day. I just wasn't really feeling warm. And then on top of that, the malfunctions got into my head a little bit here. In a second, you'll see my second and actually third malfunction, which sort of were one and the same. Making the hits was not that difficult. We were shooting a mini IPSC at about 65 yards with a rifle and a 10-inch steel plate at about 20 yards. Not particularly difficult shots, but again, there are no makeup shots. And if you took a makeup shot, you got 10 seconds added to your time. So the baseline time for everybody was 120 seconds, as that was the par time for the stage. And here you see I'm manipulating the gun to clear the second and third malfunctions. I don't have any more malfunctions with the gun for the rest of the day. It could have just been also that it was cold in the morning and the gun was cold, but I have since cleaned it, so hopefully that should not be a problem going forward. I ended up placing 11th overall on this stage with 12 successful iterations. So I got 60, excuse me, I forgot this. Every iteration you get 10 seconds off. So I ended up with 100 seconds out of 120 seconds on this stage. Okay, stage two, similar to stage one, two shooting positions, except now you have to make 3 hits on each piece of steel from 3 different positions for rifle and pistol. So left side of the barricade here with a rifle under the barricade, and then right side of the barricade. You then safe and ground your rifle and move laterally to the barrels. Now you'll see I draw on the very first one. You couldn't have a bullet loaded, so you take a shot from the left of the barrels, center of the barrels, and then right of the barrels, and then run back and do it all again. Here we get minus 5 seconds for each iteration. So right now this would be my third iteration here, my third set. So I'm now down 15 seconds from the 120 second par time. I actually ended up tying for first place on this stage overall. I ended up with 10 total iterations for a total of 50 seconds being taken off my time. On this one, you did only get 5 per iteration because you were able to take makeup shots. So, the big deal breaker here for most people, and my squad especially, was pistol skills. Not being able to hit that pistol target at about 25 yards really messed up a lot of people. Again, this is another stage where taking that extra, quarter of a second to get a good sight picture really ended up helping, and I didn't have, any malfunctions on this stage. I do have one pistol miss, which I think we're about to see if we didn't already see it. Nope, I think we already saw it. That was my only pistol miss for this stage. The other thing that did affect some shooters was the ability to get down under the barricade. This wasn't really that big of a problem for me, but particularly guys with LPDOs, it seemed like, or really any magnified optic, it seemed like they were running into issues with parallax. They were tending to miss high or low of the target, and some guys ended up going to an urban prone position, which I think really affected their scores because it takes a second to get out of that position. Okay, stage 3, Tree of Woe. This is where I lost a lot of time in this match. So about 150 yards here, I'm shooting 9mm. Again, I start here actually with 124 grain Blazer brass. And you'll see here, 9mm at this distance is just not really designed to do it. So we actually have 3 sets of targets down there that you can see. And the way this works is you could choose any of the 3 sets from any of the positions on the Tree of Woe. Now, There were large targets, which meant you had to get 3 hits per target per position. That meant that if you chose the big targets, you had to get a total of 6 hits. 3 on each of the big targets. The middle targets, which were medium-sized, only required 2 hits on each, so 4 total. And then the small targets only required 1 hit on each, so a total of 2 to move to the next position. I did not feel confident that I was going to be able to make one-shot hits, and 3 seemed like I would waste too much time, so I decided to go for our middle targets, and I think that was still the happy medium here. I do end up missing, and right now I'm still shooting that Blazer Brass. In a second here, though, you will see I do a reload to move back to the 150 grains. Probably not my smartest decision, because there is a completely different hold for the 150 grainers, and I had kind of just figured out the 124s. So you'll see here, especially when I get to the next position, I have a little bit of trouble making those hits appropriately. So every time you move to a new position, again, you get a minus 5 seconds off of your total 120 second baseline score. So the goal here was just to go until you were out of time and move to as many different positions as you could. Again, this stage, I again actually tied for 11th position overall out of 45 shooters. So not bad, but certainly with a rifle that has a round that's more consistent at these distances, and also truly waiting to hear the audible report that I had made the hit did slow me down. There's no movement at this distance on these steel targets, and you'll see I just got to my last iteration, so I successfully cleared 7 iterations, which meant I got 35 seconds off my score. And here we are in stage 4, and you'll see here in a second, I actually forgot my rifle. So, okay, gonna go get my rifle, make sure I don't forget that. And the goal here is pretty simple. There are 9 targets per for your rifle, 9 targets for your pistol, and you have to shoot them in the top 3 from the standing position, the middle 3 from the kneeling position, and the bottom 3 from the prone position. Now, you were only supposed to have 18 rounds total loaded in your gun, so there were no makeup shots here. And again, only 2 alphas per target meant that you actually got a full score for that target. Lots of guys ended up with procedurals on this stage because they forgot to kneel or they forgot to go prone when shooting the next array of targets. Here we go to pistol. I ended up getting 2 Charlies on 2 of these pistol targets, which meant I did not get full points. That cost me 20 seconds, unfortunately. But I ended up finishing 3rd overall in this match, first with PCC. Very happy with the performance in general. The staccato performed very well, and sans a few minor issues, I was really happy with the performance of all the equipment. Thanks for watching.